Oh boy. If there was ever anyone who could not be defined in one word, it's Bob. Multitudinous. That's sort of a cop-out, but it's true. He was multitudes. He contained multitudes.
Insightful.
Powerful?
Captivating would be my one word. Absolutely.
Imaginative.
Enlightened. Honest.
I think that word is irascible.
Colorful.
Life. It's not really a descriptor, but he was so full of it.
Compassionate.
Energetic.
Impressive.
He's genuine, just a really honest guy.
Dynamic.
Passionate.
Open-minded.
Probably curmudgeon in the best possible sense of the word.
Not difficult at all. If I had to describe Bob Leuci in one word, the word would be authentic.
Bob. We met and soon found out that we were transplants from New York. And by finding that out, we were actually bonded, true friends.
When I met Bob, he felt like an old friend right away. And in a way that was disarming. Immediately just fell in love with him. It was hard not to.
He had a wonderfully open personality, was always ready to share a smile and make sure everyone around him felt comfortable, even if that was a hindrance to himself.
The first time he had me read my screenplay, the first time he read it, it was in the middle of screenwriting class, and he actually had me come up to the front of a class and sit next to him while he read it, and I remember how scared I was, because he had talked about all the movies he had been in and all his experience, and I thought, here's this big shot reading my script.
One of those really nice old men who shakes their fist at everything but really loves everybody.
He was carrying this really large bag, and it was very unwieldy, and he said this was a gift to him. And he didn't want me to open it right there. And he was hesitant about it. He kept saying he wasn't sure if I would like it. It was for Gene and me, and that it really reminded my partner, Gene Walton, and me, and it reminded him of us. And well, if we didn't like it, maybe we could get rid of it. And it's like, Bob, this is so dear of you. Why are you giving me this big gift?
You were reading from the book Providence Noir, and you were reading your short story, The Vengeance Taker. I saw the magic. I saw we loved you as colleagues because of your personality, and I loved you just because you were a fellow New Yorker. I said, but when you began reading, I saw the love, the compassion, the magic that your students had to see in their classes with you.
He's actually the one that influenced me to change my major to English and Education. And when I told him that I was changing it, the first thing he said was, great, awesome, you're so talented, here's what you need to do, here's who you need to call. And he was just so supportive and so amazing and understanding, and he just really helped me out a lot.
I'd never even really wrote creatively until I got into this class. And he made such an impression on me in such a short period of time.
One thing that I totally still reference to this day that I learned in that class is to write naturally and really listen to the way that people actually talk if you want to have good naturalistic dialogue.
I used to run into Bob in the parking lot outside Swan, and I would tell him, I think that I have one of your students. And he would say, how do you know? And I'd say, because you've got them all hot for writing, and they want to be, you know, Hemingway or whatever. And he would say, yeah, that sounds about right. Those are probably my guys. And I would tell him, yes, my role is to calm them down.
He just wanted everybody to do the best thing that they could and be the best that they could be.
He was a phenomenally interesting person.
There's no nonsense with him. He's completely honest with everything he says to you. He won't mess you about. Like, everything he says, he's speaking the truth, and he's speaking it because that's the kind of guy he is.
How easily, frequently, and honestly he reached out to so many different people.
He wasn't afraid of anything. He wasn't afraid to do what he wanted or what he thought was right. And he wasn't afraid to believe in people. And I think that's important.
I think he had a unique interest in his students and figuring out, you know, the little things that made them who they were and what they were interested in. I think it was really important for him to know where our strengths lie, where we wanted to get better, where we wanted to grow, where we wanted to go in the future.
I think that he took a conscious effort to make other people's lives better, and I think everyone that had him as a teacher or even just met him and spent any amount of time with him, they probably feel like they're better off for having known him.
Sitting in the office next to him, it would be the many, many memories of hearing him in his office, talking with his students, encouraging them, laughing with them, listening to their stories. It was really wonderful to be able to overhear or eavesdrop on the way that Bob worked with his students and with other people. He was such a wonderful gift.
He believed in students, that he believed in their abilities and that they each had something to say.
He was full of love. He could give it and receive it, and he was just available in a way that few people are in a busy workplace like this.
I only had one class with him, but in that short amount of time, I learned more about myself, my classmates, and honestly life and how to pursue film through my passion and not just like as a task that needs to be done. He reminded me why I'm doing what I love.
He wanted to know like what was going on in my life rather than talking about his life.
You know, you're always an equal part of his life as anybody else, and I think that that's really important.
For him, it was never about him. I think he had a unique sense of selflessness and just utter devotion to other people and other people's well-being, that he was able to just sort of forego his own needs even when it hurt him.
He said after all the bad things he'd done in his life, he wasn't sure he deserved that kind of love. I think that's Bob in a nutshell.
And he gave so much and asked for so little in return.
I want people to remember that he did good in the world. I know some people would disagree with that statement, but he did good, and he was a good person. And I hope that I continue to live my life in a way that he would respect. Yeah.
It's so important to be reminded that there is originality in the way you live your life, in the way you interact with the world, and the way you express yourself. And I am so happy to say that I believe Bob was an original.
It was just really kind of unbelievable, because like it's just like, how could so many different things happen to one person, and how can he have so many different stories and make his life so interesting?
I mean, I guess being a professor here was sort of a second act for him, and I hope it's something that he really enjoyed because he created a lot of enjoyment himself.
And it's kind of inspiring to me to kind of try to do more, I think. And yeah, he's had a very big impact on me.
He's my favorite teacher, easily. Not just saying that.
He said, don't tell anyone the secret. Never, never tell anyone that I told you this. I said, so what is it? He said, you know, I love the University of Rhode Island. I love the campus, I love the English department, I love my colleagues. Most of all, I love my students. He said, and I'm telling you this now, I would teach as an adjunct at the University of Rhode Island, even if they didn't pay me. He said, but I want you to keep this a secret because I never, never want the administration to know this. And he laughed heartily.
I mean, I feel strange, like I'm still speaking about him in like the present tense, you know, like he's the kind of guy that you instantly speak to and you just get along with, and you feel free to speak to him and be completely honest back to him, and like you just feel like he gets you, and like he's just so honest and like genuine and cares for you, you know. Like it's just strange that like he's not here to speak to you next week. Like you look forward to seeing him as well. Like you look forward to being able to hold a conversation with someone like Professor Leuci.
He's given so much and had so much to give and was a wonderful person to know.
I want to say to Robert Leuci, because in some way, shape, or form, I believe he can hear me, and like he can hear me. And I have your book, and I'm gonna read it, and I know you want me to read it. And when I meet your daughter or your wife, I'll give it back, but I'm gonna read it. And have fun up there, wherever you are. Take care, brother.
I miss you, Bob.
Roberto, sei un buon amico, mi mancherai moltissimo e spero che un giorno ci vediamo un'altra volta. Ciao ciao.
What's that mean?
It means, Roberto, you are a very good friend of mine. I will miss you terribly, and hopefully one day we'll see each other again.
I will miss you. You so very much. Ciao, my New York friend.
I know I'm not alone when I say that you just have no idea how much you miss someone until you can't reach out and have that conversation again. And that's the way it is right now with Bob. Miss him terribly.